So Cali treats me well. You know, don't get confused. Don't listen to people saying, you know, it's this crazy liberal lefty bastion, right? It's California is like a bunch of different states. We have our rural areas. We have very conservative areas. The Central Coast does have a conservative, big, strong conservative streak. We have like a little Bible Belt running through this area. And, you know, the state assembly district that I live in is, I think, 32nd district. I think I mixed it up with my House district. I think I'm in the 32nd House district, and state assembly district is 35th. That's Jordan Cunningham. He's a Republican. And I've talked about him on stream before. And, you know, there's always been this contention that this is a conservative area. And boy, you know, I remember a guy when I was young and I was growing my hair out. He told me, hey, buddy, when I was your age in this town, if you had hair that long, someone would pick you up in their truck, take you to the bridge. You know, we have a Santa Maria River bridge at the edge of town. And they would drop you off and say, don't come back. Basically Rambo. That's the plot of Rambo. That's what the guy told me. This area is getting more progressive too. You know, we have immigrants' rights groups here in town. We have progressive groups. We even have leftist groups. I want to do more about them. I'm going to do some reporting on. There are a couple groups here on the Central Coast. We have some anti-fascists, and they were straight up doing. They have been doing mutual aid, which I think is really great. Here we go, SBSLO Alliance. So I live in Santa Barbara County, and right above it is San Luis Obispo County. So this is SBSLO Alliance, Santa Barbara San Luis Obispo County Alliance. They have been providing mutual aid to the community, to people who are hungry. They've been giving out jackets as the winter time comes. It's been real cold last couple of days. We had our first big rain of the year yesterday. So this was them giving out food and clothing. They've done this a few times. And look at these. These are like they're pro-indigenous. They are anti-authoritarian, anti-fascist. They're wearing shirts that say "fuck the Bible," "fuck the public," or "fuck the Bible, tax the church," and you know they are giving out free food to people. One time they were doing oatmeal, another time it was tamales. And interestingly enough, these are some of the folks who were at the protest that I covered. My highest viewed video on YouTube is of a protest, or it was like a pro-Trump event I went that happened in Santa Maria. Like it wasn't Stop the Steal yet because it had just happened before the election.
You guys, what's your reaction to the president?
That's me talking to some Trumpsters, and there were counter demonstrators. That's part of why I went. I was like, oh boy, there's going to be counter demonstrators at this thing, and they were chanting like "fuck Trump." Here they are getting some pro-Trump people walked up to them.
Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck 45. Get the fuck out of our streets. You don't belong here. You don't live in Santa Maria. You come from out of town. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck 45.
So these guys are like super like aggressive. Fuck Donald Trump. This guy's got to sign "fuck that puto." And you know they are anti-fascist and they are anti-Trump. And they didn't really, you know, I talked to some of them. They're like, we don't really give a shit about Biden. You know, we really don't like Trump. And the crazy thing that happened was, let me see. I have it here. There was a fight. This is why this video has been viewed so many times. Is I captured like a fight happen. So this guy's walking with his Mexican flag. He kind of left the group. And then this other guy started shoving him. He actually shoved him into me. Now, oddly enough, this guy right here, I recognize from like junior high and high school. Swear to God, he's just some orchid bro who I recognized his face. Don't know his name. So he knocked the guy's sign out of his hand. And then watch this, he pushes him. There, he pushed him. So you see, this guy was not being aggressive. The aggressor is the Trump supporter. So we skip ahead. He hands one of the girls, one of the anti-fascists with SBSLO Alliance, his flag. Says, "Here, hold my bandera. Now watch this." Whiff! Guy totally missed. And look, he's just walking towards him, and then the guy throws the first punch, the Trump supporter.
So we got to fight.
These ladies start like putting their flags in between them.
We got to fight.
And so they squared up. Nobody landed any punches, but they squared up against each other.
There it is.
So yeah. So they defused it, and the whatchamacallit, the PD came and kind of broke it up. But it's just an example of this area. For my whole life growing up here, people have said, this is a conservative area, buddy. This is just the way this area is. And, you have the vocal, members of, the right out here. But we've always had an anti-war faction here in town. And it was much smaller during the Bush years. Like, our anti-war protests were small. And I mean small. Like a couple, like a dozen of us on a street corner protesting. But to see what I saw when Black Lives Matter happened, if I bring up another video I have that I did live. So I haven't been doing the live reporting like I was, which I should. But I just want to show you really quick. There were like hundreds of people in the street for Black Lives Matter the day after George Floyd was killed, May 31st. These people walked in the street, they blocked traffic. This is Santa Maria, California. This is my town where, again, like, we struggled to have a couple dozen people protest the Iraq War. I remember protesting Prop 8, marriage, restricting gay marriage in the state, the anti-gay marriage law. And here we had hundreds of people. Hey,
John, what's up?
I'm recognizing people there.
Yes, they do.
So we had literally hundreds of people marching and blocking traffic, which is, again, not a thing you saw a lot in Santa Maria. So this city's changing. It's not it's not just the old conservative cowtown that everybody, the old timers want to say it is. Ever since we got district elections, now we have a young progressive Latina woman on the city council. That's Gloria Soto. And, she works for Planned Parenthood. There are some people in this town who never would have thought someone working, an administrator for Planned Parenthood, would ever serve on the city council. When you see some of the other city council members and their politics, you understand why people would think that way. But so it's super interesting. Just the dynamics here in this city. This is like the largest city on the Central Coast, in between like Ventura and Salinas by population. We've got, between Santa Maria and Orcutt, we're close to 200,000 people. But Jay Coleman, good reporting, bro. Thank you, sir. But weakest punch I've ever seen. Yeah, he whiffed it, man. He whiffed it. That was kind of funny.